and this is what we're doing today. So in terms of prep, I've stuck pages together. I've stuck paper like, hang on, like that, bits of paper all over it, let it dry, which has given it quite a stiff, hard feel. Then I have gessoed over it all, and I've stuck the pages together like so, peeled it apart, and that's what's given it all that yummy texture. Then when that was dry, I have stenciled with raised textured paste my dandelion, just 2 of them. There's one, it's a bit difficult to see because it's got stuff on it at the moment, but there is one there, half of one there, and there's one there, I think you can see that one. Okay, so that's what I've done. Then I've used some of these distress crayons, Jane Davenport, just around the edges at the moment. I've just scribbled it on. They're like crayons, but I'm going to add water to them, so we'll see what will happen then. So I've done that, and then I thought it would be fun. Now I don't know if this will work at all. I've already got crayon all over my hands. I don't know if this is going to work because I've not done this before, but I've created it's just out of an old bit of acetate, and I've used that washi tape to stick the pieces together, and I was hoping that it could go there over the picture and act as 2 flaps. And then I thought, it's getting carried away here, this is the IOD, what do you call it? Astoria foliage. So it's black and white, and I thought, oh, that would look lovely. So I rolled it all out last night, and I thought I could transfer it onto this acetate, little bits of flowers. So I shall have a go at that afterwards to see if I can have like a garden, because the picture, this is my rough sketch. She looks a bit like an alien woman there, but is a girl lying across both pages, lying in grass and in the pretty flowers and so on. So I thought having the translucent thing over the top, you could sort of pull it back to actually see more of the face and the girls, but she could have flowers growing strategically around her. And I thought that might be quite fun. So I've sketched that out just to give me, I mean, I've completely made that up, and the head is completely deliberately disproportionate to the body and feet, but that's kind of the style. So we're going to get on. I've got to crack on because I've got loads to do. Hi Carla. So I'm going to get the camera down, hopefully without, so it's going to wobble a bit. But the first thing I'm going to do is add some water to the crayons. It's just plain water. Thanks for sharing, Shaz. I've got it's just a spritz of water. It'll just help with a bit of the running. I want it to sort of all run. And I know this looks quite bright at this point, but don't worry, I have a plan. So I'm going to tip the book about a bit, get some runs. I love these crayons, they're just so cool. You could do this with paint. I just thought I'd show you. I love just playing with different things. So I'm very loosely, yeah, you can start to see the dandelions now as it's got some colour going on it. Right, so that's cool. What I'm going to do is get a bit of shot cloth. Take off some of the excess. It'll be quicker to dry. Don't take off too much because I like it. Okay. Yeah, these crayons are great. They're there's 2 sets. They look like that. That's the brights and there's a neutral set. I'm doing it as minimally as possible. So that's with adding water to it, but look what happens when you just do it with your finger. So I'm taking the, I'll do one at green. I'm going to do a bit of both. So I've got a sort of turquoise, but I like the blue. So if I just, because I tend to like doing the edges slightly darker, it kind of just adds a frame to the picture. So that's with a bit of the turquoise. It literally, they go on, so be careful not to press too hard because they're very soft. So there you can see I've just literally scribbled around, but instead of adding water, I'm now this time going to use my finger to blend and smudge it, and it gives a much kind of richer feeling. So you can use them in both ways. And I could still go back in and add water if I wanted to, but really like that. So now I've got to, now what I do is with my gesso, I use my same smudgy finger to just damp down, neutralise if you like. I use gesso a lot to neutralise the area that I know that the face is going to be in. So it just whitens it out a little bit, and there's going to be a bit of body over here. So it's very rough, and the good thing about the gesso is that it doesn't actually remove everything that's underneath. You can still see some of the colour and some of the texture, but it's given me a working area now for my picture. So I have got to dry that off. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to use a lead pencil to try to very roughly translate my image. My face, and I know it kind of needs to go fairly up high because of the, I'll start with the eyes. So doing really over the top, big eyes, circle, another circle, another circle. And this is just the slanty. Right, good start. And then again the other side. Circle. Circle. And next circle. Yeah, so for the nose, I do just almost an oval. 2 little circles on the side, that's plenty. Starting point, little V, and you can see that it is deliberately disproportionate. You know, she's got a tiny mouth compared to the size of her eyes, but it's the eyes that we're going to be looking at. So she looks a bit like an alien. It'll be fine. I'm doing a rough face shape round it. She's going to have a little eyebrow here, eyebrow here. So there's her face. Now we need hair. So I very loosely do this with hair. I do a shape of hair rather than try to draw individual strands. And I thought about putting a hand here, but I don't like doing hands. So then I thought, well, I don't have to, I'll just do hair. That's fine. So now it's about getting those feet in, if I can. And again, I'm not sure if I like feet, but I'll give it a go. This is very sketchy at this point, and you'll see why as soon as we get into the painting. It kind of takes over. Again, I wanted to get, it's really better to get the background in first and not try to do the background round the object, otherwise I would have drawn this out ready for you. But as you can see, it is quite a loose sketch at this point. So this is all the dress going into the grass, that's fine. That's it, that's all I'm going to do on that. So I have got, and these are Jane Davenport as well, they're skin tone colours. So there's a middle one and then there's two little ones which are light and dark, and I've decanted some onto a plate even, and I'm going to just use them to very roughly fill in her face. Thank you, Carol. I have put a link at the top as well for any of you that are interested in getting your hands on some discounted products, both paints, mediums, as well as lots of other brands actually. You'll have to join to see, but you can get up to 40% off Very Chic products. And we also have all sorts of tutorials and things coming up. I have secured 2 guests now to come and introduce themselves in our club over the next couple of months, which I'm really excited about. I'm not going to reveal yet, there's going to be a big build up. Sounds like we've got someone at the door, excuse the dog. So that's my face. I'm going to put a bit of the dark down the side because it will help give me this shadow. Yeah. And none of this is like the end. This is just loosely. And I'm going to add a little bit of that pink into her legs, just so as we remember where they are. And I'm using the dark sort of on one side and then dragging the light over, so it gives me the natural 3D-ness, the light and the dark. And I've got a foot going on here. So again, I'll use the dark to just show the heel. But it's all going to be drawn over and detailed later. So the idea of showing you what I'm doing here is that these, as long as you've got a kind of very basic, yeah, it looks roughly like a foot, but by the time we do the sketchiness afterwards, it doesn't matter, you'll do fine. So my face there is no work of art, it is a very basic shape. There. So I think that will do for that. For now. Okay. So even though I've done a sort of fairly skin coloured base, it isn't going to be skin coloured entirely. So let me just dry it off quickly. It's quite dry. Right, now I'm getting out. I like mixing and matching. This is just soft pastel pencils. Okay. And I just start adding a little bit in. Now I was aiming on doing her face. I kind of just a bit red and yellow. Just reddy orange, I mean, really. So these should just blend, and I will add a bit of water to them. But again, just going around the edge to add some, should be a neck there. Let's have a neck. And we'll have some shade on that side. She's going to have some rosy cheeks. Rosy lips. Okay. And then this is kind of the face. I think if you try to, Jane Davenport's view on the whole drawing of faces is to picture it as putting makeup on. And most of us girlies know how to put makeup on, even if we don't bother. So where you would put your eyeliner, where you would put your eyeshadow, do the same with the colours. Lots of her products actually look like makeup. Like she's got these which are like gel pens, so it looks like proper makeup. Look, it's got a, you could put that on your lips, couldn't you? I don't think you're supposed to, but. So I'm going in just a little bit with some of these pastels. I'm not trying to make her look like a devil woman, but you'll see. Okay, so that's, I'm going to leave it at that. It's always just a little bit at a time. Now I'm going to do the hair, and then you'll see it start to come to life a bit. So I'm going to go back to those original sticks. This is my other set. We're going in with some orange. Going crazy colours today. And I am just following the lines that I'd already created. It's as simple as that. You can see how. So a bit of orange. Let's go with a bit of red. Okay. And I might go with a bit of yellow. Why not? So the pastels have been easier for the detail because you've got more control. I don't know what colour her clothes are going to be yet, so we'll leave that. And then I'm going to go back in with my brush. Just get rid of that face colour off it. And I've got really quite a big brush. So at this point, I'm just blending those colours together in the motion. I'm trying to get the feeling of movement going on. Can you see? Get right in the whole journal thing. It's just so fun. I love looking back on all the pages, sort of what mood, colour-wise I'm in as well. 'Cause it seems to attract me to different colours depending on what mood I'm in. So you can read into that what you like for today's choice. If you haven't shared, could you please share it out to somewhere, some mixed media, junky journals. Jane Davenport actually has her own Facebook group, the person that these products belong to, and she has a YouTube channel. She's quite huge, so you can check it out. Yeah, I quite like that as a start. So it is a start. So what should we? I'm going to go in with yellow for her dress, because yellow goes with it, but it is not very much in anything else. So okay, you can see how scribbly that is, and I'm going to put a tiny bit of orange along the creases so that we get the shadow and the crumpleness of it. That's it. Back in with water. Dress, we presume, is going all around. We've got to like that. It's a good starting point. Right, one more dry and then you'll start seeing the magic. Just blotting it off to speed up the drying, really. Right, I've got various black pens. I've got my Posca. And I've got a black thinner one, so I'm going to use that to start outlining my eyes. This is her pupil, which is going to be entirely black. I know that's massive. Okay, so I'm just outlining. And I'm going to fill that in. This is like an ink, so it's quite dark black. And I'm just going around a little bit of my nose and mouth. The top lip is always darker. And now I'm going to give some outline, a little bit of eyelash going on, eyebrow even. Okay, so as soon as you start putting the hair in, it all comes together, I feel. And I'm just following, again, I'm trying to do shapes, not hair. But these kind of pointy bits, I don't know if you can see, I'll show you close up in a minute, rather than individual strands, work really well with this style of drawing. Hi Sarah. Hi Alison. You've been talking just for a change. Can't imagine that. So do some showing, Alison. Make amends. So she's got her fringe here, and I might even have some more strands going on there. Okay. I'm hoping I'll turn her mouth up a little bit so she at least looks like she's smiling. Right, so I'm going to give her some colour eyes. She'll go for brown. If I give her fiery looking eyes, she'll look really devilly. So this bit is dark brown. Okay, this is just a pastel pencil. And then I'm going to use one of those new marker pens that I've got for the white. It is Jane Davenport. It's called a paint over pen. And I'm going to fill this bit in white. It's a bit like a thinner Posca. Okay. Now I can use the white to emphasise some new lines in her hair. The best bit in the eyes is when you put the highlight in. That suddenly pulls it all together. But I save that till later. Okay, so I still feel she needs more round her eyes. I'm going to put maybe a bit of brown in. Cool. Let's see if these work enough on there. Bit of trial and error with whites because this is the crayons are very oily, and so they don't seem to like a lot of stuff going over the top of them. But we do need a white highlight there. Yeah, show. I'm going to get my white Posca out and I'll show you the eye. The magic bit. Oh, so this is a normal fat Posca. Now if we do a big dot there, big dot underneath, little dot, sorry, and then we do a line from here to the outside of the colour bit, and then I'm going to blot that bit with my finger, tone it down a bit. I'm going to do the same this side. So she needs the highlight to be in the same place, and then a blot from there. There. Let's make that a little bit bigger. See, that immediately pops her eyes out. So, Posca on there, and now we're going to have Posca highlight there. We always have highlight here, top of the cheeks, highlight here, highlight top of the cheeks there. She might even have a little bit of a highlight here. Okay. And this has been about just playing with different levels of colour with different whites that I've got. But it's, as you can see, starts to, so we've kind of made this side the dark, so she's going to have more light. This is kind of the doodling phase. So I'll try and, I need to go around the feet now, make them more of a clear, but very, very sketchily. So don't get all hung up with, you know it's a foot. Okay. And then the dress. Some flowy bits of the dress that we could fill in, but just a little bit of black pen and some magic happens. So I'm now going to use this same black pen to get a bit more going with the eyelashes, and a few here. Okay. And a few here. Okay. So she doesn't look quite so demonised now. So let's see if I can get some of those IODs. There's still a little bit more playing to do here, but I want to just give you the gist of, I'm quite liking her at that point. I just want to go over that white so it's a bit more prominent. We'll put a few dots of highlight in between her eyelashes. She's got sparkle makeup on. So I think anyone could do this kind of face. I might put some more white in there afterwards. But those of you that were at the beginning, not you Alison, obviously, the idea was, I'm going to pull that to one side. I'll show you close up first actually. See? And then we're going to go to my flap that I made out of Perspex and the wasabi or washi tape I showed you. Again, you can get hundreds of these on Amazon, and I just chose some lovely greeny planty looking ones because I fancied that. And then I've got this IOD Astoria foliage. So the idea was, I'm going to have to bring this back because I've got to kind of roughly work out where I want it, is that this flap's going to go over. Yeah, so I need that to go there. So I don't want to obviously cover up her main features. So take the backing off. And I've made little sort of fake flaps with the tape so that they'll actually stick out further than the book page, so I should be able to find the page quickly, which is kind of like that. So I'm just using the stick that IOD provide to reveal. I don't know, I've never tried revealing on Perspex. It's like the overhead projector stuff, not Perspex. had some left from teaching days. It seems to be coming off. There she is. Look at that. It's quite cool, isn't it? So, when it goes on here, there'll be a plant. I like that a lot. You're shocked. I wanted to show you how easy it is because it sort of starts off very like, oh, it doesn't look like anything's happening, and then suddenly it does. Look, I love that flower. I want that there. Right, that's going there. Okay. Don't be shocked. It's literally part of it, a lot of it is the tools, and not being afraid to just go for it with the pen afterwards, and not try to make the pen work perfect. Literally hold the pen quite high up, quite sketchily, and think of the pen as trying to express movement rather than express perfect form. I don't know if IOD's ever been used like this before. I was looking up botanical images and working out how I could get something over the top, and then it suddenly came to me I had this left over. It's like genius. Oh, look. Look at that. I love it. How exciting. Oh, I've got a butterfly as well. It's quite a big butterfly. And I don't think it will go, I think it needs to go, it's too big to go there. But it's too nice not to have. I think it needs to go there. Yeah, it's going to go there. Okay. Hi, Ginny. Oh, I like the idea of the flaps. I've just been able to pull them back, being fun bits of different pages. Right, there we go. Honestly, some of these pages, I know I'm using Jane Davenport, and Jane Davenport's stuff is lovely and lush, but if you can't afford it, because it is expensive, you at least get a bit at a time. And if you go on the Amazon, you will see exactly how many hundreds of products she's got. It's quite hard to choose. Well, to be honest, I didn't choose. I've pretty much got everything that I couldn't choose. But you can create these. I've done exactly the same with Fairy Chic paints. Are quite got quite high pigment in them. Look at her. I love it. It's really working out well. Right, so I've got, and these IODs overlap as well, so that's, I'm going to put that there. So it looks like, yeah. Lost my stick. I bought this in Hobbycraft. Yeah, I got it in sale. I haven't even taken it out of its wrapper yet, but I thought it's about time I had one because I do use craft knife quite a lot. And I bought a new craft knife as well, that was on sale. There. So let's build it back up. I've got a few more bits cut out ready. Didn't know what I would use and what I wouldn't. I just took it off the top of the whole yeah, that can go there. Let's just do a few at a time. The whole transfer, because I didn't want to like waste it all. There's still absolutely loads left. Right, those two can go on next. So I was just sort of taking the trimmings off the top so that I could still use the bottom bit for something else, but I no doubt I will use it something like this again. Really good design. You can colour these if you were to, I've tried this, it's brilliant. If you were doing furniture and use these IOD transfers, and or if you were going to make one of these journal pages using this, you can then use the wax crayons or paint to colour them in. So that's another really cool way of looking like you've hand painted something, because it's giving you the fantastic outline to start with. Obviously I don't want to do that on this, but that is something you can do with these black and white transfers. Just fill them in afterwards. They are pretty easy to get off this time of year because it's cold, but one of my hints to you would be put it in the fridge for half an hour before you want to use it. They work better with the cold, not the heat, not the hot. Right, can you see? I almost don't want to do too much more because it becomes overkill. And I don't know. Yeah, maybe one there. Okay. Just one more. Over slightly. And then I've got to washi tape it onto my book. Oh, Alison, have you been having a go? I just love this. You could do this on anything. I mean, okay, I'm doing it in a book. I'm just demonstrating what you can do, but I hope that I'm getting all your creative juices going, and you can picture whatever else you can do this on. If you're a furniture painter, you could do this on a tabletop, nest of tables. You could do it on top of decoupage. There we go. Right, they're all on. Now my book. So I'm getting the tape. Look at that, love it. How exciting is that? So I'm going to use one of the wider ones to stick it onto my page. Now I cut this in half to start with and then stuck it back together so that it would naturally, actually, before I do that, I've got scissors in here. Scissors. Yeah. I'm wondering whether I can cut down some of this. I'm going to cut down some of the cellophane now. Now I've got an actual, I don't know, I'm calling it cellophane. It's not cellophane, I don't know what it is. Acetate. So I'm cutting around the shape that I've got, just loosely, and then I'm just making a curve on the tab. There, can you see? Because we don't need that excess bit. That's better. So now I'm folding it out to where it was. I'm going to put the tape exactly over where it was there. Get it into the seam. Now this tape is quite translucent, as you can see, which means that I can just paint back over it. So I don't necessarily lose the picture, or I could leave it entirely. So that's one flap. And then we'll do the other one the other side. I saw that milk churn, it was gorgeous. So you could use whatever tape you like, but I don't think sellotape would stick very well to all the oil. But now we've got two beautiful flaps. How cool is that? Now what I'm going to do is, just on these bits, is fill it in just a little bit. God, I've made a right mess here. Trying to find the colours. Where's the orange? Somebody. Anybody. Let's get a bit there. To just bring back some of the face. I'm not worried about all of the tape covering all of it up, but I do want to keep the face consistent. So there's a bit there and a bit there. There. So I'll go in with a slightly smaller brush just to wet that up. And I will, once that's dry, go in with the black pen as well to just reiterate the lines. I think that's super cool. And I want a bit of yellowy. Where's the yellow? Right, quick blast with the heater so I can, I just needed the heaters. Okay. Need that all to calm down a bit, it's all a bit hot and wet and, but, oh, isn't she gorgeous? No, it's just details. Now, I wasn't convinced that doing a completely out of proportion head to feet was work. I've not done that before, but I think it does. So that's something to do again, not worry about too much. There. She's a bit heavier eyeliner. And there you have it. I think that will do for today. I might just fiddle a little bit more with the drawing of it, but I think you get the gist. I'm going to move the camera back up just to say goodbye to you. So here's today's, and they've got these lovely little flaps so that you can pull them back and see the drawing underneath. I really like that. I think you could pretty much use any kind of see-through packaging, but that does the same. Yeah, I did this sketch last night. How crap that is, she looks like a devil. I just wanted to see if the feet being completely tiny compared to the size of the head, I needed to sort of get a proportion that would fit on the page. And then I have, yeah, freehand drawn that today. And when if you go back and look at it, when you first see it, it looks really poorly drawn. It really is as sketchy as that picture I've just shown you. And it just gets pulled together as you keep going, using the paint to show the movement and the black detail pen. But it's come out really lovely, isn't it? And the IOD, I love her just sitting in the grass, nature all around her. That's really cool. Bit of magic going on. So just to remind you, because this book's getting nice and hefty now, I've got this rainbow challenge going on for you guys. My rainbow heart, with a chance to win up to 20 pots, different pots. They're not all blue. The whole set of the Fairy Chic art range, and all of what I've done today, despite me not using my own paint today, could have been done using these. I'm just playing with different products and bringing to the table more fun. But my paints are really quite pigmented and vibrant, so they're great for this work. You'll achieve it. So have a go. Do your own rainbow heart. Post it in to the Fairy Chic Paint Forum. Put hashtag Magical Palace and hashtag My Rainbow Heart challenge, and you'll be in with a chance to win the prize. The prize is going to be drawn at the end of the month. It's going to be randomly drawn. It's not talent based at all, so I'm not judging. It's just taking part, and you'll be in with a chance to win. Thank you very, very much for joining me.